Interesting. Now, I like how the resources are going to tie in. Unfortunately, we just haven't got to them yet. I'm not 100% convinced we will before the end of this gameplay. You...
Off we go.
Ah, you had to be adjacent. That would explain that. Okay, then you guys can start moving off in this direction, and we're gonna go hunting. It's hunting season. And over here, it's exploring season. Whole new massive open area. That's going to be a very food productive area. Volcano! No, Mount Vesuvius. Okay, remind me not to go Roman and build next to that. I think it would be a bad idea. +1 food, +1 vision. Smouldering presence dominating the skyline, inspiring awe and fear in equal measure. Then it provides money, stability, and influence for being present in this area. Alright, and Uruk! Uruk-hai has finally appeared. So, Uruk. You want the flood irrigation. Really? That's a 3 production tile? Huh. We could also go for the millstone just for the generic boost. Oh, pottery workshop. Industry for number of territories. Let's do that. I like how these are really, really fast. They're basically a way of getting new cities up and running very quickly. As you expand, the new cities will get up and running even quicker because the number of territories you have will have increased. Which will be good. Don't think we even have an eruption yet, and there's no system for it. Oof. Gotta get a system for that. Not natural wonders. Natural disasters. Fred, coming in with a 19-month resubscription with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Fred. Very much appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, so, I think that's everything I can do this turn. Horsemanship! Ah, nobody's going to need that. Moving swiftly on. No cavalry here. No sirree. Cavalry is simply a means to get infantry into place quicker. We could get the wheel, which I've heard might be useful. Ah, roads. Automatically creates roads between the cities and outposts of your empire. These roads set the movement cost of the train to 1. Okay, that would be interesting to see. So we're going to invent the wheel. And then we have 2 idle armies. You are going to avoid the deer. Oh, no, you're not. You're going to fight the deer. Oh dear, that deer is tougher than you are. We're going to go this way. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Well, we'll defend this river, I guess. Because that's as far as I can move. Alright, this arm. Oh, the deer's up on the hill. It's trying to stay away from me. I think I'll bring you closer to home so we can actually see where the animals we want to hunt are. Also, we probably want to start thinking about where the next outpost is going to be. How much will it cost? Okay, so the closer the territory is to your provinces, the cheaper it is. Like, trying to build an outpost here is 70, whereas building one here is 60. And I'd quite like to get the horses developed, so we probably want an outpost down here somewhere, maybe right on that hill. Marshy, that would be food. Industry from the woodland, food from the prairie. We may also want to be closer to the horses, because this is a mistake I've been consistently making, is the resources I want to exploit are just too far away from the city centres. Ah. I was looking at the wrong stat. It's army composition 3 or 4. It's like, you've still got 3 moves left. No, Mordred, they don't. Don't need to be next to the strategic and luxury resources to exploit them, don't you? Oh. Oh. Huh. Also, I think the copper mine only became available when I actually learned how to exploit copper. Because prior to that, the only thing I had was the artisan, and that's luxuries, not strategic. I was looking at the stoneworks before. I thought that this is how you exploited the copper. That would make no sense, it's a stoneworks. I see how that works. You get a lot of science with this too. Yeah, you can extract everything with this. How long does that take to build? 3 turns. How long do we have? 6 turns. We'll just get the copper mine before the end of this game. Okay. Idle army. Does it say in the tooltip you can build it anywhere? Because that could definitely do with some clarification if not. No, it just says it can only be placed in a copper deposit. It doesn't say it can be built anywhere. Extractors only exploit their own tile though, not the ones around them. Okay. That's probably another thing that could be clarified. Is the... like a little icon or something on this tooltip to say this is an extractor or this is a district or this is a whatever. Just for that extra reinforcement, because I wouldn't have known that, and the icon is the same. It's still the hexagon. Okay. Alright, idle army. We are going to move you
Follow me.
up here. Haha! And then to here. The wheel! Perhaps inspired by the potter's wheel, wheeled means of transports shrink the world and offer new methods of waging war. Wait, really? The potter's wheel came before the regular wheel. If that's true, that's really interesting. I'll make a note the extractors need the ignores adjacency requirements. A lot of the other feedback and extension types are still work in progress. Fair enough. I mean, that's why I'm like making a point to point these things out, because I know you're here in chat and you can make those notes. It's just easier. But don't worry, I know there's a feedback form and I will be taking a look at that after the stream. Because I think that getting that kind of feedback in is really important. And I know that my work with Creative Assembly, they're very receptive to influencers' feedback, just because we get access to the games a lot sooner. Alright, research. What are we going to get next? We're actually running out of ancient technologies. Yeah, the game's kind of pushing us forwards now, even though I keep clicking back to the ancient era. Oh, actually, Cat o' Nine Tails, while you're here, with the scientist thing, unlocks action, convert to science and empire, +1 era available to research. What does that bit mean? Like the... action, I understand it converts your industry and money into science production. Okay, fine. I'm not sure I would ever use that because I like production too much, but that might just be one of the downsides for me playing as the Babylonians. But what's the +1 era available? That's the bit I wasn't sure about. Does that mean that I can research classical technologies, even though it would be switching to a classical nation? Because from what I understand of this game, as you progress through time, you don't always stay as the Babylonians. You basically transition from, say, Babylon to Scandinavia. Other cultures would not be able to use classical era technologies yet. Ah, okay, so I could go basically ahead of time. Okay, that's really interesting. So ancient is classical is only available because I'm Babylon. So that does mean that I could get, like, standing army or heavy cavalry before anybody else. Okay, that's a pretty big bonus. I like it. Trade! It's just good business. Levy administration. +3 money on the city centre. Transport galley. Naval transport. Ranged naval unit must have line of sight to attack. Replaces land units which embark to travel across oceans. Okay, so that's how we would cross oceans. I would also allow Babylon to start exploring, like, the oceans a lot quicker. Aqueduct, watermill, river exploitation, +1 industry on rivers, +1 food and exploitation. So the artificial reservoirs is very similar to the... Oh, requires flood irrigation, okay. Erudite administrator. That would allow us to get another administrator. You know what? Philosophy might be really good. Plus this is extra science, and I feel like that's appropriate. Although there's no way we're finishing that technology in time. But hey, we can try. Is there a way to change terrain? Yes. So one of the technologies I got earlier was to allow me to cut trees. So we have an action here, which is cut forest. Removes forest in exchange for industry. If you're in a territory belonging to one of your cities, or for siege works. If you're besieging an opponent's city. Oh, you actually need to cut down trees to build siege engines. That's interesting. Huh. Well, it allows you to build them faster, sorry. It's not necessarily required for that. Babylon, the only culture who could potentially grab territory in another continent in the ancient era, since everybody else can't move land to units over there. Reaching a new continent is usually really difficult until later in the game. Cool. Okay. I like that. Definitely curious to see how the transition from one culture to another works. Like, that's the thing that's really got me going. Okay, that's very different from Civilization. And it's probably one of the big defining traits of this game. What's the time frame of this game? Ancient era to modern? I don't know how futuristic it goes. Because I know Civ tentatively goes to like 2100. I don't know how far this one does. Stops around the current day, ancient until contemporary. There you go. Okay, so armies. It's getting very annoying that shift doesn't make you move around the map faster. Is that a setting I can change? No. Because I'm so used to other games like Stellaris, where you can just use the boss ads to move, then you hold shift to move faster, but in this it just stops you. I keep doing it. Alright, next up. Scout. We can scoot a boot. Let's continue going north. Oh, stop, go there. No, he ran past it. Never mind. A new event. The Peckings of Poultry. The art of divination spreads across the Empire. Priests search for messages from the gods in the animal entrails. The flight of birds, the wheeling of the stars, in holy decoctions, and everywhere. Now, however, the practices have become so commonplace, so bizarre, that the entire Empire is sliding towards chaotic superstition. Even the eating patterns of chicken are being interpreted by military commanders. What to do? Who are we to say how the gods should speak to us? We should be open to all the signs. Celebrating... So, 3 cities for 10 turns gain +10 stability. Forbid these divinations. Divination outside the officially sanctioned means are pure superstition and must be forbidden. +25% faith, which I guess is a resource that's not in the game yet, because I haven't seen any other mention of faith. And then reason, we must use logic and experimentation to discern the true methods of divination. +5 science! To Babylon. Science. Ah, we got the roads up. Interesting, it goes all the way around here. And then up here to connect that one. So it does actually connect all of the cities. Cool. Because I was thinking it would just do a road to Nippur and then Nippur to Uruk rather than actually trying to trace a route through here. Okay, that's nice. I like these automatic road systems. Alright, idle army in the north. You got me some science! I'm trying to go this way though, so I can find some more of these animals to beat up. Oh, there's a sanctuary. We should probably ransack that. 5 turns remaining. Alright, let's go to the sanctuary. We'll ransack this. Now, is this going to end my turn? Yes. No, it didn't. And we kind of saw the deer running off this way. There he is. Death to the deer. Confirm the battle. On. Ah. Boom. Victory! We beat the deer. We've proven it is in fact possible. We gained 10 ducats from that. Okay. So we're at 182. How much... We already got Uruk. How much is it going to cost for us to claim this area? Because this is the next job that we want to do. Is claim this zone. So building down here would get us access to a lot more food. Building right here would get us... mountains would be production, food from these two, and then more food if we spread down this way. And now that I know that we don't need to be adjacent to the horses, I'm kind of feeling this spot, because the mountains will still block access from these areas. The other place we could build is here, to have this city top. I mean, the nice thing about this location is the city automatically exploits all resources adjacent, I think. Is this game made by the Civilization developers? No, it's made by the Endless series developers. Endless Legend, Endless Space. There's a third in that game, isn't there? Endless something else. Endless Dungeon. That was it. Old World is made by the developer of Civ 4. Civ 5 and 6 is still for Axis, and they're still working on Civ. They're still doing the expansions. More money. And we shall head up this way. Okay. Idle City, Nippur, has finished its buildings. Ah, we got the copper. So now that we have copper, we could build... Was it warriors? No. Ah, we can build the Sabusa Quatsti. It'll take 8 turns to build him, though. They're kind of expensive. How do you compare to warriors? 17 attack to 22. They are quite significantly stronger. And we have 1 copper, so is that just gonna run out if we build one of these guys? Or is it just the fact that we have access enough? Because I know some buildings require copper as well, like this forge. And judging by the fact it says copper 1 as opposed to just the copper icon, would suggest to me it consumes. Access base like Civ before Gathering Storm. Oh, so you do just need to have copper in your empire, not 10 copper. Unfortunately, all of these buildings are too expensive. +5 industry and strategic resource deposit. We do have some mountains here, not a huge amount. But because we have the strategic resource, we're going to build that. Cool. Some of them require more than 1 copy to build. I think that you have some that require 2, do I? I've seen 1. 1 copy. Ah, 2. Yeah, chariots require 2 copper. Okay then. 1 horse, 2 copper. I see how that works. I like it. Alright, let's move to our hunters. You're building that place here. And you've automatically connected the roads, which is great. And then we also need this guy. Wow, you are a long way away from home at this point. What is down there? Oh, the terrain is just falling off here, but it's not actually necessarily the edge. Huh. Well, alright then. No, it most certainly isn't. I'll be taking that money. Uruk has finished building all of its startup buildings, so your base level resource production should be pretty decent. In fact, your industry is already higher than Nippur, which is interesting. That might be because Nippur never built those. That's probably the case. So what do you have? Natural Wonder is giving plus 10 money. That is a lot of money. Minus 9 for being unadministered. So it's a good thing I'm getting philosophy so I can get that extra administrator, because yikes. So that's the limit for cities. We've just found the city limit. It's the number of administrators you have. Forge would be more Maker's Quarters. This place could do really well with Maker's Quarters. Do it. So you got these mountains down here. We've got mountains all around here, which I'm assuming will do well with Makers. Food, industry, food. Oh, maybe not. Industry. Up here it would. You know what? No, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's build something else. I still kind of want to get the food from the river. Ah, flood. Here we go. Flood irrigation. That's what we need. Duh. And then Babylon can build a thing. And Babylon's production is significantly better than the others. We're going to build the Sabu Sakwasti. And we're going to move a dude there so we can hopefully get this built before the end of this game. It might happen. I think it'll be on the last turn. Utopia Rocco wants me to drink some tea. Alright then. We used to have a system like Gathering Storm has in now. Endless Legend and Endless Space. Sorry. We used to have a system in Gathering Storm has now in both Endless Legend and Endless Space 2, but we think for Humankind this model works better, but you can't talk about trade. Fair enough. I just hope that there's more to diplomacy in this than there is in Civ. That's always one of my biggest complaints about Civilization. I hate the diplomacy systems. They're far too simplistic. EU4 is a good model.
Okay.
But that's coming from me, an EU4 player, so of course I'm going to be slightly biased in that. Right. Let's continue explorifying. We have 200 ducatses now. It's annoying that I'm kind of up against this time limit. I want to play more. However, we can get into another fight. Ooh, they're going to bring in reinforcements. Big fight! Or do animals not reinforce? No, they do definitely reinforce. So leaving those scouts at the top of the hill to tank. While the warriors sit at the back. Actually, no, that was the warriors. These are the scouts. There we go. Victory! We got 40 ducats from that. We did take a fair amount of damage, so we could spend some time in a friendly settlement or friendly area to recuperate. That was a lot better. Now, how much would it cost me to upgrade this place? We don't know yet. Next turn we will. Even before E4 I found Civ Diplo simplified. Yeah, it's definitely one of my biggest issues with that game. 400 ducats to upgrade this into a city, plus that would negatively impact our income. Because lack of administrators, and I'm guessing that that's a penalty that will grow and grow. It's about the level that Total War is at. No, with Total War 3 Kingdoms, Total War's diplomacy is better than Civ's. Much better. 3 Kingdoms is almost at the level of EU4 now. Alright, so we're ransacking all the things. We're building this next turn. So is this actually going to end next turn or at the end of next turn? Because I want to see my unique unit. Oh man, we are so close.
Come over here.
It's taken me this entire game to get the copper supplies so I can actually build the unique unit. That's been my goal. No!
Hi, it's me again, back to say just a few words. First and most obviously, thank you for playing. We really hope you enjoyed it. Again, keep in mind that this is just a glimpse of what the full game will have to offer. The scenario you just played was specifically designed for OpenDev. Now, if you have time, we would really appreciate hearing your feedback. The game designers have put together a list of questions that would help us make Humankind the very best historical strategy game. If you're interested in hearing more about this, come join the community on Games Together. Thanks again for playing, and thank you for leaving your mark on Humankind.
Okay, so just to reiterate that, we do have a bot set up, so if you type in !Humankind, that will link you to the website where you can put in an application to join the OpenDev, and that could get you an early access copy of the game because they do want more people's feedback. That is part of the purpose of doing this. So if you are interested in Humankind, if you are a fan of European Universalis, Total War, Civilization, Endless Legend, you should definitely check this out because, oh boy, this game has potential. I don't know how much I can really say about how much I enjoyed it or otherwise because that would technically count as a review. But it definitely has a lot of potential. I am excited and looking forward to seeing where this goes in the future. So we have just played through the one scenario that I was given access to. I will be doing the feedback. I don't know whether to do that now. Just go on a break for 5 minutes. No, I have access to the feedback form already. So I got that through the email. So I'll do that after I finish streaming because I've still got another 2 hours of stream to go. So we need to decide what we would like to do now. We could play this again and do a slightly different path. If we want to take another look at the scenario from a different perspective, perhaps. It's still Babylon, it's still the same map. I will say that up front. Or we could go and do some more Kemerovo, Hearts of Iron, or anything else. Like, what do you guys want to do? We still, like I said, have 2 hours. In the form, you can enter how often you've played it, so feel free to take it later. Okay. So I think what we will do is a quick poll. And thank you very much, Cat o' Nine Tails, for hanging out with us and giving us information as and when it arose. It is really helpful having a developer present for that kind of feedback. So thank you. I know I've had that previously with other developers, and it's just always been a real pleasure having you guys watching. So thank you. Yeah, we'll do a poll. So let's see. So Kemerovo is going to be one of the options. Another scenario of this is going to be an option. What do I think of the game? That would be a review. I can't say that. I can only show you. Okay, so what next? Question mark. Play again. Ahoy for Kemerovo. We had somebody saying Thrones of Britannia. Star Sector, I don't know if I necessarily want to do Star Sector right now. That one takes me longer to get into. I'm just excited for people can finally show our game. Yeah, like I said, I was watching H for Havoc earlier to see what he was saying about it, and I did see you in chat there as well. So it is really nice seeing you supporting streamers in this way. Thank you. See you, Mastani. I think that these three options are going to be just fine. We'll do this as a 2-minute vote, and as always, they are completely influenceable if you wish to influence them in that way. In the meantime, I am going to do a sign-off. In case this goes up to YouTube, I will need to talk to my contact to see if it is allowed to or if it's supposed to. But just in case, thank you everyone for watching. I do really hope you've enjoyed this. Twitch, we are not going away. Just don't go anywhere. If you have enjoyed this, then hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, or if you're here on Twitch and you haven't done it yet, you should definitely hit that follow button to get notifications when streams go live again in the future. If you have really enjoyed this, then do consider checking out my Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking, and I do also have a Discord, which you can find linked in the description below, or you can go to the Discord thing. So do go and check that out. That would be awesome. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.